Hi and welcome to Kelly's Garage. Today I'm gonna work on my mother's car, an Audi 2001 1.8 turbo. It's gasoline. So it's been to state inspection, and the issue with the car was one control arm play in the joint there, so I'm gonna change it today. And I've done some preparations. I'm a bit noob, so I'm new to fixing cars, or I have been fixing cars for 2002, but not that much, so I still feel like I'm a beginner. And a lot of stuff I do for the first time, and this is my first time I'm gonna change the control arm, but it's not difficult at all. So I will have no issues, I guess. Hopefully the parts are not rusted too much. And here I have a Elsavin printout. It's from a program called Elsavin that is for Audi. And you can see an exploded view of all the parts that are involved. And also the torque specifications. So this is part of preparation. You look up your sources. You maybe watch a YouTube video or two before beginning, because you want to be as prepared as you can. Now I safely secure the car on jack stand, and also with a jack underneath. And the first thing to do is to remove the wheel. When I move here, I can feel a little bit of play, and it's this control arm that needs to be changed. When I'm pushing it like this, it's obvious that there's play in the system. The first bolt I'm gonna remove is this one, and it's to the suspension strut. And it's 18 millimeters. I'm gonna try with my small Ingersoll Rand impact, and we're gonna see if it will remove it. It doesn't look like that. So I need to bring out the big gun. There was space enough for the big gun, so we'll see if this one will remove it. Okay, I need to find a wrench. Like that. No problem at all. And then you just use a hammer to get the bolt out. Lightly tap it. Uh-oh. It's blocked on the other side. That was not good. I finally managed to get the bolt out, and all it needed was some persuasion and a bit of hammering. The next bolt I'm gonna take out is I'm gonna show you. Next bolt is this one, and just for fun I'm gonna try my Ingersoll Rand 3/8. I haven't used it much, and I'm a little bit curious how powerful it is. supposed to be the most powerful 3.8, but I haven't been too impressed with it so far. So let's see what kind of bolt size this is. This one was a 16mm. So we're gonna try once more with the Ingersoll round. Okay, it did work on that one, so that's good. To remove the bolt, I'm gonna hammer on the nut here. I'll make it flush with the bolt, and then I'm gonna hammer it. You don't want to mushroom the bolt. That's really bad. And it's quite loose. That's good news. So it's not rusted stuck in the hole. So this is gonna be easy for me. I was down in my flat because all my tools are in my flat. So I found this screwdriver with a striking cap because I'm lacking in chisels and punches. So I'm gonna abuse this screwdriver a little bit. But I'm gonna buy a punch and chisel set anytime soon. Okay, now the bolt is out. And as you can see on the screwdriver, I'm not sure, yeah, you can see it somewhat. It didn't damage it at all, so punch and chisel set, I really need it. So now we're gonna remove these two control arms that are linked in this joint here. So I need to go back to my flat and get some more tools. I'm always running up and down. I managed to loosen one of the control arms a little bit by a punch, and I have this chisel that's my father's, but he doesn't have enough of them. So I'm gonna continue just beating on it and then get it up. One is out, then the second one. Almost out now. And there is that. Now I have to go on top and remove the bolts that are in the engine bay. First thing to do is remove this lid that is on top of the compartment here. And here is one screw, there's another, and there's a third. I can show you close up. One is there, second one is there, and the third one is here. It's 16mm, and I'm gonna try once again the Ingersoll run, see if I can do it. Doesn't look like it. No, I need to bring out the big gun again. Okay, that's all of the bolts. And now I should be able to remove the strut out of here. We'll see. Finally managed to get it out. I used the pry bar on the lower arm, and I also put it back in the position it was unmounted. So it's out now. Here is the part I'm gonna use. It's lamb feather. It's German made, so it's supposed to be quality. I hope so. It's good not to buy Chinese crap. That's my opinion. So this is the most expensive brand you can get, at least as I saw on the market. Perhaps it was the only one available at the local parts dealer also. I have to see what kind of bolt this is. Maybe 16. Looks like that. Yeah, and just for fun I'm gonna try the Ingersoll rand, but I'm losing faith in this impact as an impact you can use on most of the tasks you're gonna handle on a car, because it was supposed to be powerful but not powerful enough, sadly. So I have a wrench on the other side, and once more I'm gonna test this. I haven't had this for a long time, so I wanna see how good it is. It did manage that bolt, so that's good. And once again I can see that this bolt is Loctited, but once again the bolt is on the wrong side, so it won't go out. I think I found a solution here. Just this punch and a hammer. See if it goes. Yeah, it works. And then it's out. And the arm is quite easy to remove. And also now when it's when the strut is outside, you can see what kind of angle it needs to have. Same angle as the other arm. So here you match it up so that it's correct. Then I put the bolt back again. Now of course I use a new bolt. But maybe I should go down and get some Loctite, because it's Loctite on this bolt. I'm back with some green Loctite now. Just a couple of drops on the edge here. That should be enough. It was green Loctite on it, and that's the same I'm gonna use. It's actually a strong Loctite, so but that was what was used, so I'm gonna use the same. And I do the opposite. I place the bolt so that it It's on the other side, it's more convenient for me. Okay. It's in the right position, as you can see. So now I need to get the torque wrench. As you can see, it's quite rusty, this shock, but I'm not gonna do anything to it. I don't care. When it's leaking oil, I will change it. I'll need to get a socket. $50 Newton meters was a little bit, so I have to use some strength here. Okay, that's it. And then 90 degrees. Yeah, I don't have anything else, so I'm gonna use the torque wrench. No, actually I do have. There's my trusty gear wrench. And 90 degrees, I just watch the angle of the handle. Need to use some force this time. Okay, that's tight enough. The next thing I'm gonna do now is to place the strut back in the right position. Yeah, I have to get the strut over this arm down here, and it can be a challenge. But I'll try to line it up. Then I need to force this arm down somehow. Yeah, it's in. It wasn't that difficult either. Maybe I should first put on the lower nut here, so that they will raise the strut up, and then I gonna put the 3 bolts up on top. And I use gloves because this car is old and messy and greasy and all. I hate getting grease on my hands, as I always do. You can't avoid it. I'm gonna use some green Loctite because I saw some residue on this bolt. A couple of drops. Like that. And I'm gonna put it through the other way, because it was not good the way it was. Too difficult to get out. I don't think that matters too much. And now I'm gonna get greasy hands. Just a little tap with the hammer. I'll tap it with the hammer. I don't want to ruin the threads on it. It's not going through. So I need to change the angle on it. It's actually in the holes here on top. Maybe if I use the... There. It's true, and I maybe damaged some of the threading there. Hopefully not. See if I can get the bolt on. Yeah, I can. So it's good enough. Messy hands, as you can see. I'm gonna zip it on with the impact. And this was 18. Okay. Washed my hands. I'm gonna use the Ingersoll Rand on wrench tight. As you can see, yeah. Just gonna zip it in. Here you can see how wrench tight works. It hammers for a couple of seconds, 1 second perhaps. That's wrench tight. And then I'm gonna use a torque wrench for more. Before tightening this bolt here, I'm gonna go on top and fasten the strut to the chassis. As you can see here, the holes are lining up quite good. So it's just to take the bolts off. So I'm gonna finger tight all of the 3 bolts and then I come back to you. The torque specifications for the bolt on top is 75 Newton meters. Gonna zip them on a little bit. Like that, and then I'm gonna use the torque wrench. Okay, that's nice. That's nice. And the last one. I might have to get an extension here. I don't know how it is with the torque wrenches and extensions, but I'm gonna use it. Yeah, that's okay. Then it's time to tighten the lower bolt. I just removed the nut to take on some Loctite. You're supposed to renew this bolt when you are removing it, but some Loctite will do just fine. It's a self-locking nut, but if I take green Loctite upon here, it will be okay. I'm a bit clumsy. Then I got the nut on, so I'm just gonna zip it in with the impact a little bit. Like that. And the tightening torque on this bolt is 90 Newton meters, and then you turn it 90 degrees. So it's quite heavy. And now I'm tightening it. It's quite much for a little 3/8 torque wrench, but that was 90. I'm gonna use my 1/2 inch breaker bar for the 90 degrees. It's gonna take a lot. Then it's 90 degrees. I think that's okay. That's tight enough. And then I'm gonna connect the two control arms to this lower arm. Probably gonna use a hammer for this. Quite easy actually. Need to manipulate a little bit the angle. Yeah. And it's down. This bolt gonna go into the hole. Gonna hammer it on. Gonna use some Loctite here as well. Better safe than sorry. Just a couple of drops. And I'll zip it on with an impact. This is 40 Newton meters, so it's not much actually. And torque it to, that's 40 Newton meters. That was not much. And actually, now I'm done. That's about it. It took me a couple of hours. but I'm a slow worker, so nice weather and a good experience working on cars. I always love it. But my hands, they are filthy. And that's one thing I don't like with fixing cars. I often wash my hands. Last thing for me to do is to put on the wheel and then jack the car down. Here you can see the finished result of a new arm to the right. Normally you are supposed to tighten the liners to, I guess, 100-120 Newton meters. Then retighten that after a trip or two, or maybe 3 days, I don't know. But I've never done it that way. I zip them in with the impact, and then 2 seconds on speed 2. And that's how tight I'm gonna get it with a breaker bar and some force. First I use speed setting 1 and zip them in. And then speed 2. And that's about hand tight with a breaker bar. The nuts will never come off with this much torque on them. But just to be sure, I use a breaker bar and then lean a little bit on it to see if they are tight. And they are perfect. If I really wanted to, I could make them move, but that's no point. That's more than good enough. That was a fun experience working on the car, and I guess my mother gonna be pleased. You can do the same as well, and you can save a lot of money. And I tried out my 2 impacts. Still disappointed on the Ingersoll Rand. You cannot rely solely on Ingersoll Rand 3/8 impact. It's just not got the beams. But the DeWalt, I think this might be the best half-inch impact on the market. Makita is a little bit stronger, but I really like the 3-speed and how the speeds operate. I like the weight, the feel. It needs a boot, but that can't be bought. But it has never let me down. I have used it, perhaps owned it a little bit over a year, and I've used it on many different kinds of bolts, and it always gets them loose and quite easily actually. Even hub bolts and maybe crank bolts. Yeah, I've seen it taking off crank bolts. So it takes off every bolt on the car, and what more do you need? And I hope you learn something from the experience and subscribe, and there'll be more to come.